Assalamu Alaikum everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a wonderful day. In today's video we are comparing two great companies, and that is Visa and Mastercard. These two companies are Sharia compliant. A lot of you have asked me recently how they are Sharia compliant, so we will look at from that side of things. We will also look at the financials and understand what the business model is and the fundamentals, and to see if these companies are, good addition to your portfolios right now, or if you have to basically wait a few weeks and months until they come back down to a fair value and so on. But before we get to the video, to the rest of the video, I would like you to press that like button. It only takes a couple of seconds and it really helps the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do it as well. That will definitely be helpful. Now, like I said, these two great companies are Sharia compliant, both of them. I'm going to talk about Mastercard first. And these two companies are technology companies. They are not dealing with the day-to-day of credit loan, basically giving out a loan and getting the money and getting extra money for it. None of that. They are technology company. Those cards in your pockets are developed by these companies, and then the Barclays and HSBC and so on will then deal with that side of things. They are transactions. They basically make sure those transactions happen, the cards are working, your account balancing, all of that stuff basically goes and so on. For basically everything else the technology is supposed to do, that's what they do. They don't deal with the credit side of things. Okay, the payment side of it is taking care of the banks. The transactions, okay, and the technology behind it is what these companies do. For that reason, they are Sharia compliant. I don't think there's any debate about that. Okay, $379 per share. It has EPS of $10. 362 billion market cap, which is absolutely huge. It has a wide economic mode and it has a beta just above 1, which is absolutely fine. Now, in terms of EPS, okay, you can see our price price to earnings is 37.9. Let's call it 38. Forward is actually the lowest, okay, and the average for the 5 years, the past 5 years, we're looking at 41. So if you look at basically that, almost a 42, it is actually, it seems slightly cheaper than basically where it has been in the last 5 years. And price to free cash flow we're looking right now is quite, is actually lower, okay, than where it should be, or where it is right now, or where basically almost where it should be next year. Now, in terms of technology sector, we're looking at about 26.33 in terms of EPS for this whole sector. So when you compare to that, is actually slightly seems a bit more expensive. Now, in terms of dividend yield, we're looking at 0.61. Latest increase was 16%. 5-year growth rate of 18%. $2.28 is what you will get if you own stocks of like one stock of this company. They have increased this in dividends for 10 years. The payout ratio is very, very low, 19%. 99% safety, which is absolutely huge. Free cash flow here is $10 billion, and free cash flow yield, okay, which we talked about recently and added recently, is 2.3. and normally we're looking about, like I've always said to you guys, is 4% or more. That would be absolutely amazing. But the fact that this one is 2.3 is not too bad, because when you look at the free cash flow here of $10 billion, that actually is quite good. The next thing we look at is profitability. Okay, profit margin, we're looking 45%, operating margins of 55%, and return on equity of 145%. Total return in the last 10 years, we're looking at about 22%. Current ratio just above 1, which is absolutely fine, perfect. That's what you want to see. So that means the company basically has enough cash or liquid, okay, to be able to pay their current liabilities. Next 5 years, basically next year, they're expecting the earnings to grow about 15%, and then 21% every year from there onwards. Now, currently trading $379 per share. Market is open, so that might keep changing. Fair valued in terms of simply Wall Street is actually overvalued about 15%. According to Morningstar, it's actually 2% overvalued. According to TipRank, it's actually slightly cheaper, so about 10%. According to Seeking Alpha, is about 8.55 basically percent upside, so that means it's slightly cheap, and it's a buy from Seeking Alpha. Now, all of these things, okay, I normally like to use Morningstar or Seeking Alpha. They both okay. Morningstar is actually the one I prefer normally. Okay, so I would definitely say it is around fair valued right now, this stock. But because of the PE, you could potentially wait. We don't know what's going to happen in the markets, but the analysts are predicting maybe after these earnings are over and the Fed comes out and maybe increases the interest rates in the US, sorry, basically the stocks might come down quite a bit, so you might actually get it even cheaper than where it is right now. Again, only no one knows basically what might happen tomorrow to the stocks. In terms of Sharia compliance side of things, as you can see here, everything is perfect. There's no problem with the business side of it, which is what a lot of you have a question mark on, right? There's no problem when it comes to Sharia compliance side of things. Interest bearing debt is very low, and interest bearing securities is also low. They have been buying their shares from $1.2 billion to right now just less than 1 billion shares outstanding, which is absolutely amazing, because what happens, the company is paying you cash dividends wise and also buying back their own shares, which is absolutely beautiful. The next company we've already seen and I've talked about before is Visa, is one I own in my actual portfolio and currently trading 222. Again, they do exactly the same thing. They don't deal with, in terms of the basically they deal with the transactions, the technology side of it, but they don't deal with the basically the day-to-day of that bank and so on. Obviously slightly bigger than well, almost the double. How much was it? I think it was 200 something, wasn't it, or 100 something? No, $362 billion market cap, and right now 462 billion. That's actually almost 100 billion more. It has a wide economic moat, less than 1 in terms of beta wise. PE 31, so it seems slightly cheaper. Forward PE 26, which is actually even better. 5-year average was 35. Free cash flow right now is basically price to free cash flow is 30. So that's not bad. It seems slightly cheaper than Mastercard, and it has been, to be honest with you, for a while. When we look at dividend yields, almost more or less the same. Latest increase was 20%, 5-year growth rate 18%, annual payouts $1.80. 14 years of increase in that dividend, 21% payout ratio, 99% dividend safety, which is absolutely amazing. They have more free cash flow, so 17.8, let's call it $18 billion. And price to free cash flow yield, we're looking about 3.5, which is really good for me. Like I've also said to you guys before, anything above 3.5, 4%, I'm cool with that. Okay. Next one is profitability in terms of operating margins, in terms of return on equity is absolutely amazing. There's no problem with that side, and almost a 20% return in the last 10 years. Current ratio, we're looking about just way above 1%, which is nice. Next year, 16% growth. After that, 15% growth annualized, and then $222 per share. And tip rank is actually saying about 9% overvalued. Morningstar 2% discounted right now, and then Simply Wall Street, tip rank is actually saying 13% upside, and Seeking Alpha about 12% upside. If you like, it's a buy from Seeking Alpha, and I think it's definitely buy from me, and I will be adding to this company. I have added to it recently. I used to own 10 shares and I sold, but I've added to, I think I bought 1 point something shares recently. From a Sharia compliance side of things, you're looking about basically literally no issues whatsoever, and shares outstanding is actually declining from 2.6 to right now 2.1, which is another amazing thing to see about this company. So in terms of the stocks, how many stocks of this company I own, let me quickly show you. So as you can see here, I own 11.11% shares. Basically my overall, it's just above 2,000 pounds right now, and I'm up about 12% if you, okay, $223 or pounds, sorry. So my plan is to add more of Visa, inshallah. Just to be transparent, I'm not gonna share the entire obviously family portfolio, but I have recently, about I think 3 months ago or so, I've started adding Mastercard to the family portfolio because I was looking for a high growth technology company that could potentially be a good value for the long run. So I have added that. It's not a lot, is I think about 1% of that portfolio. It's up a little bit, So I will be adding to that as we go along, but that portfolio I have not shared, and I don't think I want to share anytime soon with the community, because that's more of a private family thing. So yeah, that is basically all I wanted to share with you guys today. The portfolio is doing all right. I think this week keeps going up and down. I've added £500, so there's about 500 and a bit left of that money, basically, that I've added recently. So what I'm going to do is, like I've always said to you guys, I'm going to max, and I'm going to be transparent and keep showing you this account. Trading 212 are starting again to take more customers. So if you're interested, if you've been on the waiting list, perfect. If you're not on the waiting list, then use the link on the basically description. You will get a free share. I'll get a free share. If it's non-Sharia compliant company, I normally sell it and then give that money to charity, and you could do the same if that's something that InshaAllah you want to do. But there you go, that's my overall portfolio. That's where we are right now, and those are the two companies that I wanted to share with you guys. And like I've said to you guys so many times, they are not dealing with the debt side of things. They are technology companies. Although it says financial services, they are a technology companies in the end of the day. Okay, have a wonderful day. Assalamu Alaikum.